Why do so many of us wake up already tired? Why does it feel like we have to drag ourselves out of bed every single day to force ourselves to work, to study, and be productive? Why is it so hard to feel motivated, excited, or even just interested in life anymore? For a lot of people, the highlight of the day isn't about achieving a goal or crushing a dream. It's about crawling back to the couch, scrolling the phone, binge watching the show, loading up on sugar, and of course, drink gallons of caffeine just to survive another day. Why? And here's the real question: where is the energy? Energy to change our lives, to chase the things we actually want, to create something new, to simply do something good for ourselves, just for us. The truth is very simple. You are where your attention is. Wherever your thoughts are, wherever your emotions, that's where your life is. Your life is made up of what you feed it, your thoughts, your feelings, the people around you, the relationships, your actions, and your results. So, if your attention is stuck worrying about what other people think, replaying the past, or panicking about the future, like, why didn't I say the right thing back then? Why didn't I buy Bitcoin when it was $1? I'll be retired and bitch by now instead of this. Then yeah, your energy is already gone before the day even starts. If you're living someone else's life, chasing someone else's goals, stuck in the wrong job, in the wrong relationship, constantly criticizing yourself, betraying your own needs, then no matter how healthy your body is, no matter how good your habits are, you will feel still drained. Because if you're constantly leaking, you can't fill yourself up. Right now, I'm going to demonstrate from our visual learners how it works, okay? This is you, this is your life force energy. And you try to fill yourself up with healthy habits, going to the gym, good diet, positive affirmations, friends, everything. It's leaking out. No matter what you do, okay? So in this video, I'm going to be telling you 7 leakages and how to solve it. So let's ask the real question. Where are you leaking your energy, your resources, your motivation? What's killing your desires, your dreams, and your joy in life? The first leak is, of course, it's freaking unhealed trauma. These are the psychological wounds that haven't been worked through. They're not finished, fully experienced, or healed. This is the kind of experience where you ran into an obstacle or situation, danger, and your emotions were so intense, so overwhelming that you simply couldn't process them in the moment. To survive, your mind automatically triggered defenses like splitting, repression, or some other protective mechanism. In other words, your mind basically just shut the fuck down. As a result, a part of your personality, your inner child, gets stuck in that situation. It continues to hurt, to bleed, to cry out for help, draining your energy and attention. For years, you can keep giving your strength, focus, and energy to those old experiences until you finally process it fully. Later, the mind self-healing system might kick in, and unconsciously we start repeating the trauma. We seek out for people who will abuse us, harass us, manipulate us, betray us, hurt us, creating the same pattern so we can finish that process. We end up organizing situations around us that bring back the same feelings and states, giving ourselves another chance to fully live through that experience. But the people around us don't know about our minds plan, okay? They may carry their own traumas, their own splits, their own cycles, neuroses, and unpredictable behaviors. So instead of healing, this can lead to re-traumatization. The trauma deepens and it worsens. Over the years, we accumulate a collection of these events, leaving fragments of our soul, fragments of our personality behind. By a certain age, we can feel like nothing but scraps. Drained, unmotivated, without desire, stuck in a bad movie where the actors change, the scenario changes, but the script stays the same. Our nervous system becomes like a leaky bucket. No matter how much you pour in it, it just drains away. Just like how it demonstrated it. Healing the trauma is simpler than it seems because I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. First, you're going to list of things that are stuck in your mind. You start with recent events. In my case, it was a fight with my ex-situationship. He really fucked me up. You go to a dark space. It can be your closet or bathroom. No sunlight. And no one can bother you. It has to be super dark and super quiet. You sit, you close your eyes, and you relax your body, your whole body. Listen to your breathing. And when you fully relax your body, you start painting that emotional situation. You start transferring to that situation. You start remembering all the details. You see the room you are in. You start hearing the sounds, you see the things around yourself, then you see that person who fucked you up. You see his body, you see his face. It has to be very, very clear. And then you repeat that situation. You start feeling all the emotions. Remember, your brain doesn't know what's real or what's not. Your brain will think that you are there. And then you see the emotions you left in that room. Imagine your emotions like smoke or little dots in the air. It can be any color. And then you start breathing and visualize how that smoke of emotions go back to your body and you breathe out everything, bringing those emotions back to your closet, to your bathroom. You do this until the situation seems unimportant, like it happened not with you, like it was just a movie scene that you watched somewhere. That's how you bring back your inner child to yourself. And in the end, you look in that situation and visualize how it's burning away, leaving dust. I promise you, 200% this practice works. I did that and I was able to erase the moments, situations that were bringing me so many emotions and triggers. One practice, that's it. It was erased. Like it didn't happen with me. I forgot about those situations. That's how simple it is. Broken boundaries. When your personal boundaries are damaged and never properly repaired, they continue to bleed your energy. Your inner support, your sense of self, your limits, your inner defenses remain weak. This leaves you tense, drained, constantly struggling with low motivation, self-esteem, and confidence until you take steps to rebuild them. Or experiencing conflict or having your boundaries crossed is not bad or criminal. What matters is how you respond. When you assert yourself, stand your ground effectively, or even resolve a conflict in your favor, you actively repair your boundaries. You restore your sense of balance, protect your energy, and regain a feeling of being whole and in control. However, if you cannot set limits, say no, or defend yourself, for example, because it feels unsafe, shameful, socially unacceptable, your boundaries remain broken. This is especially true in toxic, dependent, or controlling relationships where your role is limited to serving or accommodating others. While your needs, feelings, and rights are ignored, in these cases, your energy continues to leak away, leaving you exhausted, disconnected from yourself. That's how psychological vampirism works, often called narcissistic abuse. Another person imposes their will on you in ways you would never accept for yourself. They may insult you, humiliate you, provoke you, manipulate you, or violate your space, all while making it impossible for you to respond, protect yourself, or even care for your own needs. Over time, this constant energy drain can leave you exhausted, anxious, powerless. These are the common verbal examples of this kind of abuse. Shame on you. Aren't you ashamed? Are you so selfish? Why do you always think about yourself? I knew you didn't have a heart. The third major energy drain comes from toxic relationships. These are the unfinished, unresolved, and emotionally incomplete relationships that remain unclear, dependent, and unhealthy. That's why situationships keep stuck in our mind, because it's unfinished. They are relationships filled with unspoken grievances, unmet expectations, unprocessed emotions, unsaid words, and other emotional baggage. These are the relationships you cannot fully leave. You remain stuck in a suspended state, unable to relax, constantly pouring your energy and attention into them. They are relationships where something was left undone, something was not received, and something remains unresolved. You keep waiting, you keep hoping, you keep loving, you keep believing. What if they come back? What if they change their mind? What if they heal, understand everything, and return? And everything is gonna be like in the beginning. Even if the person or the relationship no longer exists in your reality, a part of your personality stays stuck there. That part continues to consume your attention and energy. You might be endlessly replaying conversations in your head, trying to convince, trying to blame, shame, seek revenge, or earn forgiveness. All of this mental drama happens entirely inside your mind. In effect, you're creating conflicts with yourself. One part of your personality tries to prove or gain something from another part of yourself. You blame yourself, you shame yourself, you punish yourself, you demean yourself. You spend enormous amount of energy and attention on this internal struggle. Sometimes we unconsciously place these old roles into new people, seeing them as the one to blame, the one who hurts us, or repeating old patterns. This often leads to new toxic or dependent relationships. In this way, when entering new relationships, we often carry all our old grievances, unmet needs, projections, feelings of shame, guilt, and other emotional baggage. Until these past wounds are processed, they continue to drain our energy, distort our perceptions, interfere with healthy connections. The fourth leak is self-punishment, self-criticism, self-suppression, and self-blame. This includes toxic shame, toxic guilt, and anger turned inward. It's a type of inner conflict where one part of your personality attacks and suppresses another part. This often comes from childhood trauma, inadequate upbringings, psychological abuse, or destructive parental programs and scripts. For example, if as children our parents belittled us, criticized us, abandoned us, or humiliated us, then as adults we often treat ourselves the same way until we process that experience and learn to treat ourselves differently. It can also come from psychological traumas, manipulation, or simply toxic emotions when our unexpressed feelings turn inward. Instead of helping us meet our needs, these emotions start to poison and damage our brain. For example, suppressed or unexpressed anger may be turned against ourselves. Instead of using that anger to set boundaries, stand up for ourselves, or reach our goals, we attack ourselves, we punish ourselves, and drain our energy. This can create an internal conflict between what we really want and our inner rules, parental programs, or beliefs how we should be. In this situation, we split into the part of us that attacks and suppresses, and the part that is attacked and suppressed. We end up punishing and criticizing ourselves. On the outside, we may appear inactive or passive, doing nothing, but inside, a storm is raging. Conflicts, self-investigations, real drama that consumes huge amounts of attention and energy and mental resources. Next, the fifth leak is when you deceive or betray yourself. This happens if you stay in a job you don't love, stay with someone you don't love, or deny yourself money, pleasure, joy, healthy relationships, or other good things in life. It happens when you don't do the things that you really want to do, or when you force yourself to do the things that you don't want to do. For example, if you give up on your dreams, suppress your desires, perhaps because your parents did the same thing, or spend your time on things that feel meaningless while convincing yourself others have it worse, or I can't be selfish and think only about myself. Or you might even tell yourself better to be in this codependent, toxic, destructive relationships than have nothing at all. Or if I lose this job, maybe I'll never find another one. You might even choose to suffer, endure, or struggle simply because it feels familiar, safe, or aligns with your patterns, messages, and rules you learned from your parents. If meeting other people's needs, feelings, neuroses, complexes, values, or desires becomes more important than pursuing your own goals, you end up draining all the energy your body, mind, and life force gives you. Energy that could have gone into your own work, your own relationships, or achievements. Over time, suffering and self-sacrifice can become habits and even develop secondary benefits. For example, suffering might make you feel more important, special, or good. It could even become a way to attract attention from others. The next one I hate is mental strain. This includes obsessive thoughts, wild fantasies, fears about the future, regrets about the past, and endless what-if scenarios. It's all about unresolved issues, worries, and insecurities that pull you out of the present moment, away from here and now, into imagined problems that may never happen. These thoughts steal your energy because they're not connected to your real life or what you can actually do right now. They create a sense of helplessness, a feeling that you have no control over your own life, even when you actually do. That's why dwelling on the past or worrying about the future is so freaking exhausting. Thinking, if only I had done this differently, everything would have been better now. Or what if something bad happens? Keeps you stuck. Ruminating about what other people think, replaying old conversations, or blaming yourself for mistakes from the past keeps your energy trapped in your mind instead of in your actions. Your energy returns when you focus on the present, on what you can do here and now to move forward to what you want. When you stay stuck in these old thoughts, your frozen emotions can turn toxic. Stress becomes distress. Anxiety becomes constant worry. Sadness can deepen into depression. And you may find yourself living in someone else's story instead of your own. Next, mental saturation. This is information overload, overconsumption of junk content. Our favorite social networks, channels, media, and news are designed to grab our attention as much as possible and keep us hooked for as long as possible. Your attention is a commodity, like a product. They buy and sell it, and no one really cares about your mental state or emotional well-being. Be sure that all the technology designed to influence your brain, capture your focus, and manipulate your thoughts, and this all is going to be used against you. That's why short, flashy, provocative, emotional content that hits your triggers and taps into your deep values and desires, grabs your attention and gives you a dopamine rush. Very quickly, this creates overconsumption and addiction. You open your favorite social app and vanish for hours. Your dopamine system is overworked, your curiosity and motivation stop working, and you run out of energy and strength. What to do? Start with a dopamine detox from information. Put away all your gadgets for a day, 2, 3, or even a week. Some people go as far as a month and nobody has ever complained about it. For example, after my month-long information detox, some people told me I looked fresher, more energetic, and like I had way more confidence. Next step, come back to here and now. Return to the present, to reality, and to yourself. Pull your attention, your thoughts, and your emotions out of the past, the future, other people's lives, other people's problems, and your fantasies. As for worries, sadness, guilt, shame, resentment, envy, and other toxic emotions, start by noticing them and giving yourself space to feel them without judgment. You can try simple practices like journaling, mindful breathing, do meditations to process these emotions. I'm sure there are a lot of YouTube videos on that. Little by little, this helps you release what's weighting you down and regain your energy. Third step, clarify and set your true goals. Focus on goals that match your real values and needs, that inspire you and energize you. Make your real life the most exciting experience compared to any alternative. God created us for a reason. Me and you, we could have been rats running around in nasty places, but God made us human. This has to mean something. The chance of being born is 1 in 400 trillion. That sounds almost impossible. But here we are. So let's be grateful and get our shit together so we can be unstoppable. Okay, bye-bye.